Hello everyone, it's 200hennry200, and if this audio blah 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 sounds weird, it's because I'm using an actual microphone, not just my phone. Phone. What? Anyways, yeah, I got a microphone like a month ago. I meant to record something for Halloween, and that never happened because I'm not even sure I uploaded a video. I'm not even sure I uploaded a video on Halloween. Whoops. Anyways, so if this audio is weird, I'm probably just talking too loudly into the microphone, but I'm a loud human being, so I can't help it. Anyways, we're going to figure this out all together. But I thought since I need to test this microphone, it would be a great time for me to explain myself. Because I, for one thing, have not been uploading. As I said previously, I don't think I uploaded in October at all. And then I have been very active on Twitter. And if you follow my Twitter, you will have seen that, yep, my car got stolen. Well, you also clicked on this video and it's in the title, but my car got stolen. And then I've also had a lot of medical stuff going on that I would love to explain because it's a story time. Woohoo! Yeah, because such exciting story time. So I'll start with the medical stuff, and then I'll talk about my car getting stolen, okay? So firstly, if you have watched my channel previously, you know that I am arthritic, and I have depression and anxiety problems already. Well, I'm seeing a new primary doctor, so we're doing a couple tests for some serious things like diabetes and lupus and stuff. My mother has lupus, so I'm at a much higher risk of getting it. So we have to keep an eye on that. And I do have arthritis already, and inflammation is a symptom of lupus, so we gotta keep an eye on it. Pretty much is the case. But I also see a rheumatologist specialist for my arthritis, and she took x-rays of several parts of my body. I had about 8 x-rays done that day, as well as about 10 blood tests. And firstly, my blood tests showed a lot of inflammation. I have a lot of inflammation in my body, and we're not sure where it's coming from. I'm assuming it's my joints and my back. But I used to see a rheumatologist specialist, a different one, in my same town for a couple years. But those test results are the same as my previous ones, it turns out. I had never looked at my previous test results with the previous rheumatology specialist. But it turns out, yes, my levels were still high several years ago, and my doctor had done nothing about it. None of them. So now things are finally getting done. I'm finally getting pain prescription medications. But the x-rays, firstly, my bones aren't fusing together or anything, so that's great. However, that was my phone. Shh. However, it turns out I have scoliosis in my lower back. My lower back is curving to my right side of my body. It didn't sound severe. I didn't get to see pictures yet. I don't see my doctor until the end of this month. However, along with the scoliosis, my arthritis is in my back, it looks like, which means the cartilage between my vertebrae are becoming inflamed because my body is attacking it. Pretty much. If I remember the explanation correctly. They might not have explained it to me correctly. But this causes bone spurs on my vertebrae, which means my vertebrae have little points on them. And combined with scoliosis, that's probably a bad thing. Because they're probably like touching each other and causing all sorts of bad things to happen. But she says I should just be able to get physical therapy for it. But along with my new scoliosis diagnosis, she did mention that she thinks I might have fibromyalgia, but I'm not sure if that's true or not, because I just have a lot of pain. I have lived in pain for a very long time, for pretty much as long as I can remember. I wake up every morning and think, where am I going to hurt? And then I get up out of my bed and I go, okay, that's where I hurt today. Pretty much. I wake up in pain, I go to bed in pain, and usually by the end of the day it's a lot worse than in the morning. So, alongside that, my A1C, which is your diabetes marker kind of thing, that mine is high. I am almost pre-diabetic. I'm like 0.2 points away from being pre-diabetic. So I am trying to do that and trying to lose weight. And yeah, shut up! Rude. I am trying to record a video. So that's all my medical stuff. 6 minutes into the video. Now I gotta talk about my car getting stolen. So it was on a Monday, just this past previous week. I don't know when you're watching this. It was on a Monday. The Monday before recording this. No, I'm recording this on a Monday. Well, the previous Monday. I had, that day, went to a funeral. So I sat in a car for 4 hours there. Spent 5 hours there at the funeral and going through an old house and stuff of her belongings and blah, blah, blah. And then another 4-hour trip back. Well, then I agreed to watch a coworker's kids so that they both could be at work, because they both work there, and not worry about their kids, even though they were all asleep. But one of them has insomnia, so I went over there, but I was exhausted, and I was up at 6 in the morning that day. But they were going to be at work until at least 4 in the morning. So, I, of course, agreed because I'm stupid. I went over there. I brought my bag from the funeral in with me. So, I had my wallet with me. I had a sketchbook, a journal, or a notebook, and some random stuff that I had brought with me previously. Well, I ended up leaving my car unlocked, and my keys were inside. So then, cut to 3:34 in the morning, they come home and they ask, where is my car? I had no idea my car was missing. I look out the window and my fucking car is missing because it was parked on the street. So immediately, I'm like, well, I better call Dad and tell him. Of course, I called my dad first, and he's like, well, call the cops. What are you doing? So I called the cops, and the cop gets here in like 4 minutes. Like, he had nothing better to do. But the first thing they say is, well, there's no sign saying whether you can park there all the time. So let me make sure it wasn't towed, because this might be your fault for parking badly. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I can park there. There was another car parked there. You just parked where I parked. The cop parked where my car used to be. But he spent an hour and a half trying to get a hold of the towing company that is associated with the city police. And then, of course, that brought up nothing. No one towed my car. I did not park in an illegal parking space. There was no reason for it to be towed. So with that hour and a half wasted, they finally put my car on the stolen car list to keep an eye out for. Well, I deliver at my job as well as working inside at Domino's. So all my delivery shifts had to be replaced, and I ended up not working until Wednesday when they needed me inside. Yeah. It was fucking awful. Well, then Thursday, at like 11 o'clock, 10:30, my boss calls me. I had just gotten home from work. I had just finished eating. I was just about to shower. So he lucky I wasn't in the shower, but I'm lucky too, because it turns out he found my van. My boss found my van at the Buffalo Wild Wings in the town over. Because my town is split by a river, that separates the two states. So I live in one, but across the river is another city in the other state. And my boss lives in that other city. And he happened to be at that Buffalo Wild Wings, and he happened to see my car, which had been abandoned there. And they probably drove it over there just for a ride and parked it there and abandoned it there. So I left my house barefoot and went straight over there. And there was already a cop there when I got there, because he had called the cops, obviously. They had searched it with a dog to make sure there weren't drugs in it. And Lord knows I didn't have any, because I ain't got no connections. But, they had taken stuff out of my car. They didn't damage my car. They actually left it with some gas in it. But they didn't damage it, thank God. There is stuff smeared on my passenger seat and on the ceiling of my van. I don't know what it is. It looks like it could be mud or some really ugly makeup or something. But I don't know. I almost don't want to know what it is. I'm just going to pretend it was always there. But I had a bunch of random junk in there that they took. But I actually had a bucket of clean clothes in my back. They took my clean clothes. I had 3 uniform shirts in there, a bunch of long pants, my work pants, towels. I had a lot of clothes back there. They took all of it. I had a small container with some of my high school art in it. They took that. I had a shitty purse that was duct taped together. They took that for some reason. And they left another empty purse in my car. Like I was supposed to replace it with it. Like, no, bitch. This purse is ugly. I don't want it. And they also left some kind of writing journal in there. I didn't recognize the handwriting or anything. So the cop took it to see if because there was one name in it. So they thought maybe they could track it down. But, potentially. But they also left a fucking lighter and an inhaler in my car. Some ugly ass makeup. And a map of that state. Like, not the state I live in, the state next door. And I don't know why they would have that unless they were planning to escape further away. But they took the keys. They took the fucking keys. And they took a key that belonged to the Domino's store that I work at. They have a random key that is very heavy duty. It's a very heavy duty key. And it's for a random Domino's store, and they won't know what it's for. It doesn't say what it's for or anything. And it was just sitting in the back of my van somewhere, probably on the floor. And I don't know why they took it. I don't know why they took my keys, unless they think they're gonna run into my van again. Which I hope not. But I'm gonna get a new car anyways. But I had to get a new car made, which cost $47. I had to have the car towed, which cost $97. Yeah, $97 to tow my fucking van, because it was front wheel drive and I didn't have the keys, so the front wheels weren't moving, so he had to use skates. And apparently, using them cost $35. Bullshit. I'm just not okay with it. That's a lot of money for me. I'm broke. But once I finally got a key, which hardly works in my van, and we finally got it going because it was locked in place. Like, I couldn't turn the steering wheel or anything. Once my dad got it going, we found it still had the same amount of gas. When they took my van, it had a quarter tank of gas in it, and it still had about a quarter tank of gas when we found it back. I was expecting it to be fucking empty. But, no, they left me some gas, so that was fucking great. Just, no keys. Oh, side note, the lanyard that I had my keys on, I had a key for my dad's house that he doesn't even live in anymore. My grandma's house. I had my apartment keys on me, but I also had my car keys and not the clicker thing. I don't know what happened to my clicker thing. But I also had a can of pepper spray on that. Someone in these cities are wandering around with a pineapple lanyard that has pepper spray on it. Woohoo! because that's exciting. But I don't know, it was just fucking dumb. And they must have been short as shit. Like, seriously, my mirrors were adjusted so much I could hardly see out of them at all. My seats, both of my passenger and my driver's seat, were both as far forward as they could possibly go, almost. But that might have been just from them trying to search through the place, because my car was full of trash. Just a ton of junk. Oh, you know what? I also had a bucket of Halloween decorations in there. Oh. Well, that's okay. It's less for my apartment to hold. But anyways, yeah, I went almost 5 days without my van. And probably the only reason we found it is because my boss went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Because it was probably there for a day or two. They probably abandoned it there the same day they took it. But eventually, I'm sure Buffalo Wild Wings would have asked for it to be towed because there's not supposed to be any overnight parking there. I don't know. But yeah, that was a story time that took 17 minutes. So I should stop rambling because this video is going to get too long. Yeah, I'm going to record that Halloween video that I meant to record it before Halloween. And test out my new microphone more. So, bye-bye!